Good morning, friends, and welcome back to another Budget With Me video for my cash envelopes. I hope everybody out there is staying safe and healthy and doing everything that they can to follow the guidelines the government has given us. It's not been easy. I know it's not easy here as well. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. We'd love to have you as part of our family here on YouTube. For those of you guys who keep coming back, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate you. And I hope everybody out there is as healthy as they can possibly be. Here in Missouri, we are just now starting to see last week and this week a little bit more of the virus. I think we are now up to, as of the time that I'm filming this, I think we have over 1,800 cases. We still don't have any cases in our county, which I am very, very thankful for. But because of the current situation, for those of you guys who don't know, I do work a full-time job. My responsibility is I work in a doctor's office, so I do work in healthcare, and my responsibility at the doctor's office is pulling blood and processing it and sending it out to the lab, and then calling patients the next day for their lab results to let them know what's going on with their blood work. But because I work for a general practitioner family doctor, we have seen a very large decrease in the amount of patients that come into the office because everybody's really trying to do their part and stay at home. So because of that, my job has dwindled down to not even a third of what it was. So basically what's happening is I go into work when they need me, and on the days that they don't need me, I stay at home. And because, I mean, our doctor's office is used to seeing about 50 to 70 patients a day, and I think we've been seeing maybe like 20. So whenever you think about the effect that that has on my job, specifically being the person that draws the blood, disregard all this ink on my hand. I kind of am just not working as much as what I had been. Obviously, I'm off on Fridays, but I do normally work Monday through Thursday from 8 till when my job is done. Most of the time, that's between 4 and 5 o'clock, I would say. So I do go into work every day at 8 o'clock, and sometimes I'm done by 2, sometimes I'm done by noon. It just depends. So anyway, we are going to try to, like I mentioned last time in my video, we are really going to try to not tap into our emergency fund until we absolutely have to. So we're just going to be working with bare bones again this week and probably through the whole week of April in our budget, because our main goal is to continue saving the same amount of money that we've been saving all year and most of last year, half of last year, I should say. So that is our number one priority. Again, if you are new here and you haven't already set up an emergency fund type of account at your bank, I would highly suggest doing that. An easy way to get started on that is to just allocate funds each week. Set yourself a goal. What we did whenever we set up our emergency fund, we have 3 months worth of bill money, grocery money, and wages inside our emergency fund, inside our checking, it's a savings account, I should say, and that money hasn't been touched for years. However, you know, if for some reason the doctor's office ends up shutting down because of this, or my husband's job, we at least have the funds in there to cover all of our bills and survive with groceries and everything that we might need for 3 months. So if you haven't started something like that, especially in times like this, I know it's going to be hard to start it now. You know, a lot of people are out of work. A lot of people aren't working at all, or their hours have dwindled down. But if and when we get out of this crisis, we need to, and you haven't started an emergency fund, just allocate a certain amount of funds each week set your goal. So if your goal is, say, $3,000, you're just gonna save as much money as you can out of your weekly money here and set it aside. And when you get to that $3,000 goal, you can then take that money and put it into a savings account at your bank and use that for your emergency fund only. We set ours up about 3 years ago. We haven't yet had to tap into it, and we're gonna try really hard to not tap into it. Even though I know that money is there, I really don't want to pull from that money unless we absolutely have to. So with that being said, we've kind of cut our weekly money down quite a bit. Hello? My camera's doing something funny, y'all. Why? Let me see if I can fix it. Bear with me. Come on. Why? Why is this always happening recently? I think my kids are messing with my camera. Maybe this will work a little bit better. I don't know. Anyway, I gotta figure out these settings on my computer or on my camera because they're like different than what they used to be. Anyway, sorry about that. Let's move on, shall we? Okay, so what was I saying? Yes, set yourself up an emergency fund. It may take you several months to build up that money in there, but just do what you can, especially in times like these. I highly suggest having emergency funds out there so that you can survive if you were to lose your job or something happens and the government completely shuts down. We haven't yet had a shelter in place here in Missouri, but I think that it's coming as our numbers continue to rise. They're like rising by like 200 or 300 each day. So it's getting a little scary out there, especially here in Missouri. I know that there's states out there that are already surpassed our numbers by 3 times or 4 times the amount. My heart really does go out to all those folks that are dealing and working in the COVID-19. I do work for healthcare, but we're just a family doctor's office, so we don't see patients in our office that would be having those types of symptoms. We would automatically suggest they get testing done, rule out flu and pneumonia and things like that, and then we would go from there. We don't allow them to come into the office. So anyway, getting off track. Anyway, I hope everybody is doing okay out there. My heart goes out to everybody. So what we're gonna do today is we are gonna go through our envelopes. We did end up having to purchase a few things extra this week, so it's a mess. We did a little project, a school project, where we had to pull t-shirts out and make some t-shirts. So my clothing fund is gone. Groceries obviously is gone. I'm just going through and pulling out all of my extra $5 bills because, as you guys know, I do the most when it comes to consciously making an effort not to spend my $5 bills. Let me pull this off to the side. I have personal information in my book here. And I just want to see where we were at with our $5 challenge, which was $70. Let me write that down because, you know, I'll forget it. We had 70 bucks in our $5 challenge envelope last week. So I'm going to pull all of these out. There still should be 70 bucks in there. And these are my $5 bills that I've saved this week. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70. And then we're adding 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. So I'm gonna take this $5 bills. You guys know when I get my $5 bills to 100, I will take those out and put them into my $5 bill envelope that's in my safe here in my home. And I'm going to set those aside and add a little note off to the side. Today that I'm filming this is 4/3 of 20, and I'm adding $100 to $5 bill. So I know, and then I just have one $5 bill left over, so I'm gonna put $5 in back into this envelope and start saving the next 100. Especially right now, I always try to save my $5 bills, and I use my $5 bills for extra things that we might do with our family, whether that's extra things for vacation, or if we decide to go away for a weekend, I can just pull out my $5 bills and fund that little weekend trip for whatever it is that we might decide to do. If we decide to go to Six Flags or to a water park or anything like that, this way I don't have to take out money out of our savings money or put it on credit or all that fun stuff. So that's the reason why I save my $5 bills specifically for family use purposes. Okay. So other than that, I think we're pretty much cleaned out. So we're just gonna go ahead and start the process of stuffing our envelopes. We're going to put $100 into the grocery fund this week. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, and all I have is 20, so I'm kind of gonna make some things work here in a minute, you'll see. Gas will get 20, although 20 bucks will fill my gas tank up right now, because gas is like, here in Missouri, gas is like $1.63 or something ridiculous like that, so I don't look to have to use that gas money. I may allocate that somewhere else if I have a need to do so throughout the week. Let's see. Personal, we're not adding anything into personal because, you know, as you guys know, my personal account is usually to go and get my nails done, which we can't do right now, so I'm not even gonna put money into there, and that's kind of like extra whenever we're both working and you know, we got extra money throughout the week, but because we're both not working, there's just no sense in putting any personal money aside. We're not in school. We won't be in school. They just announced that we're not going back to school until at least May 1st. And that's if we even go back then. I seriously doubt for us to go back to school at all. So there's no money going into the school. That's usually used for lunch money and things like that. So I just added, normally I budget 80 bucks in my groceries, so I just added 20 bucks to that for like lunch supplies for here at the house. Dollar Tree, we're not spending any additional money right now, so we're not putting anything into Dollar Tree. We do, however, still put into car maintenance, and I took the $40 out last week and ended up, my husband needed an oil change on his car, so we depleted that. Same with clothing. Like I said, we were doing a project for some of the work that came home from school. We made some t-shirts, so I took the $20 out of here last week, so I'm just adding 20 bucks in there. As far as I know, we probably, right now it's baseball season. Season's supposed to be starting soon, and I don't look for that to happen, so I'm not gonna be adding any money into sports right now. Again, it's just not something that is necessary to add to, and we're not spending any extra money currently. Miscellaneous will get 40 as usual. A family fund will get 20. We usually use this $20 bill for pizza night once a week, so it just gives me a break from cooking, especially right now. Your girl needs a break from cooking because I'm cooking every single night. Gifts, I'm not putting anything into gifts because there's no birthday parties. There's nothing like that happening. And vacation, we'll go ahead and set back 20. I really hope that we still get to go on vacation. We'll see. If not, we'll postpone it. We're supposed to go after Memorial Day, so if we can't travel by then, we'll postpone it until later on in the summer. Buffer will get 20. I just ripped that out of there. And graduation, what I'm gonna do is, because I don't have change right at this moment, and I need to go back and add in the graduation money from the last 2 weeks because I didn't. So we were at 12, 13, and we're supposed to be adding in 14 this week. So 12, 13, and 14, that equals up to what, $39. So what I'm gonna do is just add 40 in there. And then that way I'm caught up and I don't have to worry about trying to get the change to get caught up. So 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 1, 2, 3, 4. So technically there should be only 103 in there, but I'm gonna go ahead and put 104 so I know how much is in there. This graduation money is for a trip that me and my son, who is graduating next week, or next year, I should say, is gonna go on just a mother-son trip. So I don't, unless I absolutely have to cut out the graduation and the vacation, I'm not going to do that. I would rather cut out my personal money and the Dollar Tree money and sports and things like that. That's not happening right now. So you gotta kind of have to pick your battles. Which one are you gonna do? You know, which things are most important to you? And currently right now, you know, without me putting the money into personal, which is normally $40 a week, I can allocate that money somewhere else where it needs to be. So there's that. That is what we're doing with our budget this week, and it'll continue until our lives go back to normal, unfortunately. If you are new here, thank you so much for coming. I do have the supplies that I use here linked in my description bar below if you're interested. Somebody left me a comment saying that the planner that I have linked is from 2019. I will try to go in and correct that. If not, just look and Google it or look at it. It's all on Amazon. You can just search it for the same planner for 2020, but I will try to get in there and get it corrected before this video goes up. You guys know that I do have an Etsy store with cash envelopes. I just restocked these. I'm actually adding everything into my store today, so by the time that you guys see this video, I'll have a whole new supply of cash envelopes up for grabs if you guys want them. So yeah, I hope everybody stays safe and healthy. Do whatever you can to prevent the spread of the COVID-19, very important, and stay safe, stay healthy. We will see you guys next week, hopefully, for another Budget With Me video. Thank you guys so much for spending some time with me. This video was kind of a little bit all over the place, I feel like, but sometimes that's just what happens, especially when you're stuck at home and you have 500 things going on in your brain. Anyway, I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend, and we will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.